Number 1284, December 19, 2016. Let's all stand for the pledge, please.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag, United, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Burns,
Here.
Collins,
Here.
Cottle,
Here.
Herbie,
Here.
Holt,
Here.
Johnson,
Here.
Here.
All members are present and accounted for. Item 2 on the agenda is minutes. Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes? Hearing none, we move to item number 3, presentations. December business of the month, Mr. Paul Byrne.
Mayor, members of council, thank you very much. Our December business of the month is a highlight of our development program through the past year. So it represents an accomplishment of 2 of our objectives. As you know, part of our objectives was to redevelop properties and fill vacant buildings, and especially in the Kemper Meadow Business Center. The another one was the recruitment of new companies consistent with our redevelopment plan. This project accomplished both of those objectives. Red Leonard Associates is a manufacturer's representative that specializes in equipment for the petroleum industry, representing 13 manufacturers across the United States. They promote products used in the construction, remodel, and/or upgrade of service stations, including fiberglass underground storage tanks, gas nozzles, LED lighting, island forms, canopies, and other related projects. They also work with commercial and industrial lighting applications, providing those for companies. In addition to these services, the company also provides IT and facility support for other types of organizations, including the Natural History Museum, the Newport Aquarium, the Freedom Center, and many others in the area. Their sales territory represents 26 states and all of Canada. Earlier this year, Red Leonard made a substantial investment to acquire and renovate a vacant building at 1340 Kemper Meadow Drive. Company officials have already begun the transition of moving their people and equipment into the 32,000 square foot building that sits on 7 acres in our Kemper Meadow Business Center. They will bring 58 employees to the Forest Park facility. The Economic Development Commission wanted to call attention to this company's impressive investment in our community, and indeed, this is the latest example of a fast-growing, family-owned business joining our business community. As you know, we take great pride in providing family businesses such as Red Leonard with a positive environment in which they can grow. It is our hope that this is the start of a long and mutually beneficial relationship with the Leonard family and their employees. And at this point, I'd like to invite both Jamie and Sherry Leonard up to accept the award.
Thanks, Paul. Congratulations.
thank you.
Thank you, sir. City of Forest Park Business of the Month, Red Leonard Associates Incorporated, in recognition of the company's contribution to the growth and development of the City of Forest Park. We thank you and welcome.
Thank you. Wow, that was quite a surprise. We're very honored to be here. We are kind of migrating from the west side, so we've always been in Western Hills. My father started the business back in 1973 with just my mother and my father, and that was it. So today, across our territories, we employ upwards of close to 90 people. And since that 58 number has taken place, we have grown that by 8 more people, somewhere around there in that short time frame. So we plan to continue to grow. Our company is dedicated back to our employees. And, you know, I had just a quick, interesting story. It'll tell you about our company a little bit. I was at dinner with a longtime friend of mine who happened to be a very good customer. And he has a very dry sense of humor. And we happened to be in Las Vegas at our national convention. And he asked me a question that took me back. He said, "Are you in business for your customers or your employees?" And I'd never been asked that question before. And I immediately answered him and said, of course, it's for our customers. And that was on a Wednesday evening. And he planted that seed with me, and this was probably about maybe 6 years ago. And I went back to my room, and I continued to think about that question, because if you're in business, I would say that the majority of people would answer it that same way. And it bothered me. I continued to think that question through. And on Monday, this gentleman actually is from Cincinnati, and I met him down in Florida, and he moved to Pennsylvania for a large company called Sheetz, who is in the convenience store business. They are a very large operator, and they basically do most of their business on the East Coast and in the Pennsylvania area. And I called him on the phone, and he answered the phone with this joyous response, because he knew it was me. He could tell by my number. And I said, hey, buddy, I'm calling you because I answered that question wrong. He said, what are you talking about? He didn't have a clue what he did to me. And I said, the question at dinner you asked me about our company. He said, oh. I said, I gave you the wrong answer. And there was silence. And I said, after a long, hard thought process, our company is dedicated back to our employees, and I'm in business for our employees. And he said to me, good answer. And I can honestly tell you, I'm not sure that I do anything different than I did the day before he asked me that question. But what I do differently now is every decision that we make in the company is made for the betterment of the employees in the company and to their future of them as well as their families. And I hope and pray that each one of those people know that. I believe they do. They tell me that all the time. But I can promise you that our dedication is back to them. And the theory is when we take care of them, they're going to do the same to the next human being that they come in contact with. So I leave you with that, with our company. We're very dedicated back to the space and back to this environment here. And I can promise you that we are going to be A+ citizens, and we are going to continue to invest in our company and in the neighborhood. So thank you very much for the honor. We consider it very much of an honor, and we feel very privileged to be here. So I want to thank you very much. Thank you very
sir.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you
Thanks
again.
again.
Appreciate it. The next item on the agenda is item number 4, communications from the public. And as usual, before we go into that item, if you need to or would like to leave, please feel free to do so. You do not have to stay, but you're welcome to stay if you choose. Thank you. Okay. Item number 4, communications from the public. This is a time for citizens to comment on matters before council or to ask questions of concern to them. When recognized, please come forward to the podium, give your name and address, then state your comments or questions. Council meetings are tape recorded for ease of transcriptions. Comments are limited to 5 minutes. Anyone from the public? Hearing none, move to item number 5, reports of standing committees. Mr. Barnes.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Before we go into item number 5, I'd just like to ask for your indulgence, because I would like to move to excuse John Wyckoff as the law director.
Thank you.
Second.
We moved and second that we excuse Mr. Wyckoff. As you all know, he had some surgery. He's not here with us. Any questions? Call the question. I would like to just state that been in communications with John. John was planning on being here this evening, but as you all may recall, the last time he was here before his surgery, he was, as he put it, overly optimistic about his recuperation and how that was going to go. He was absolutely certain that he was going to be back, but unfortunately for John, he didn't his recuperation and recovery is not as swiftly as he thought it was going to be, primarily from swelling that has not gone down as much as he thought it would have. So just passing it on to you from John. Any other questions or discussions? Hearing none, all those in favor of excusing the law director, let it be known by the sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Mr. Wyckoff is excused. Move to item number 5, reports of standing committee. The first of those, Human Resources Committee, Councilwoman Holt.
I do not have a report on the human resource, but the beautification commission, we did go out on the 9th, 12/9, and did the judging of the lights, and I just want to say thanks to everybody that decided to help us light up Forest Park. All of the people that had lights, there are a lot of beautiful decorations out there, and a lot of them did not call in to be judged, but I still appreciate the fact that you took the time to light up the city. Again, thanks to all of you. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Any questions for Councilwoman Holt? Hearing none, we move to the next standing committee report, Public Safety Committee, Councilwoman Cottle.
I do not have a report this evening, but I'd like to wish our residents a Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday with best wishes, especially to Ruth Webb, one of our residents here in the city. Thank you.
Any questions for Councilwoman Cottle? Hearing none, next report is Public Improvement and Facilities, Mr. Southall.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. There's two items I'd like to make knowledge of. There's two structures. One would be the Kmart Omniplex. Staff has discussed with 3 developers interested in acquiring and renovating the vacant Kmart building on Omniplex Drive. The other one I'd like to discuss is the mall redevelopment. It was previously reported that the mall owner has engaged with Newmark, Grubb, Knight, and Frank to market the property. And these marketing people are locally owned and operated, and they're excellent team. And the reason that I'm mentioning this is the fact that the mall has been a long time situation for us, and hopefully this will be the beginning of some breakthrough. That's the end of my report, Mr. Mayor, and if there's any questions, I'd be happy to field it.
Any questions for Mr. Southall? Thank you, sir. Next report is Community Development, Mr. Burns.
Actually, Ways and Means.
I'm sorry, Ways and Means, Ms. Herbie.
Yes, Mr. Southall reported on 2 items from the Economic Development report. There were a number of other pending possible retentions and inducements for companies to come into the city that are pending. And I don't want to mention anything specifically, but there is a great deal of activity going on to try to take advantage of filling up some of our vacant buildings and also building on some of our vacant lots. And so I wanted to report that. I also wanted to also say happy holidays to all of our residents. There are Christmas holidays coming up and Jewish holidays coming up and African American holidays coming up. So just generally happy holidays to everyone.
Any questions for Councilwoman Herbie? Community Development, Mr. Burns.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have no report this evening. However, if there are any questions, I'll be glad to respond.
Any questions for Mr. Burns? Hearing none. Next committee report is Law Committee, Councilwoman Collins.
Mr. Mayor, I have no report at this time, but I would like to take the time to wish the community a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holiday Season, Happy Hanukkah, Happy everything, and may your new year be a prosperous and productive one.
Thank you. Any questions for Councilwoman Collins? Next report, Intergovernmental Relations and Communication. That's my committee. I have no report, but I would answer any questions if there are any. Item number 6, the mayor's report. I too would just like to take this time to wish everybody a safe and happy, productive and happy holiday season, and remind everyone, in addition to the holiday season, that we are rapidly approaching the winter season, although you may have thought we were there already. Be sure to listen to or read or take advantage of all of the tips regarding the cold season, whether it's for yourself, your family, or your pets. That will conclude my report, and I would answer any questions if there are any. Seeing none, item number 7, City Manager's report. Mr. Hodges.
Thank you. I'll report 3 things. First, that the departmental reports have been completed, placed on file with the Clerk of Council, and they're available for public inspection. I'll also report that the Records Commission held its second meeting for the year as required by law. That was held this evening, and that helps keeps the city in compliance with record retention requirements. And finally, I'll report that staff is working on resolving an issue with basically our server room, our air conditioning and the units that basically keep the servers operating properly are just failing. That's the bottom line. So we got to find a solution to that rather quickly. I'm confident that we will. I'm just making you aware that that's a pretty significant issue for us, because obviously if the computer systems don't work, then that kind of shuts us down for operation. We've had a couple situations where the alarms have gone off for us, and we've had to make some adjustments. But in any case, we will be working on that, and we'll have a solution for it. It's more of a internal operational issue, but it's major because it affects the entire city if it's not operating. But that would conclude my report. I would respond to any questions if there are any.
Any questions for City Manager Hodges? Hearing none, thank you, sir. Move to item number 8, other reports. First, though, will be Clerk of Council, Mrs. Hoffman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to report that ordinance number 17-2016 was posted as required, and that concludes my report.
Okay, we'll move forward with the motion. Councilwoman Herbie.
I would move to suspend the rules requiring the reading in full on 2 separate days and read for the first time by title only ordinance numbers 18-2016 through 22-2016. These ordinances were posted 6 days prior to this meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we suspend the rules requiring the reading in full on 2 separate occasions and read for the first time by title only ordinance number 18-2016 through 22-2016. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on the motion to suspend?
Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Southall.
Yes.
Motion to suspend passes 7-0. Article 9, new business. First item, ordinance 18-2016. Would the clerk please read that by title only?
Ordinance number 18-2016, making appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Forest Park, State of Ohio, during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2017.
Is there a motion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, I would move adoption of ordinance number 18-2016.
Second.
Moved and second that we adopt ordinance 18-2016. Is there any discussion? Councilwoman Herbie.
Yes, 2016 is the first year that we will be collecting on our new fire levy that had been passed last year. We have the full budget document with all the details and line-by-line listings of revenues and expenses, but these are some highlights. The general fund budget's balanced for this year, for next year, actually. The general fund as proposed in the budget constitutes over $12 million of expenses, with over $12,000 of expected revenues. 12 million, sorry, thank you. The city's proposing to maintain most of the current staffing levels and will basically be filling recently vacated or soon-to-be vacated positions. The only change is to add a part-time property maintenance specialist. We understand that there may be up to 6 employees contemplating retirement, and these are located within the general fund and the fire fund. And we expect to be able to fill those with very high-quality people, as we always have. There is a new ladder truck that had been budgeted, I think, for this year, but it's being moved into the 2017 budget, and we expect delivery on that by the end of the year. We've also budgeted for demolition of approximately 5 houses at an estimated cost of about $45,000 out of our capital improvement funds. The draft budget also contains projects for repaving a number of roads. Brunswick, Hinckley, Manford, and Rangoon are slated to be redone. Also resurfacing some basketball courts and basketball nets and playground equipment, primarily located at Central Park. Other capital items include demolition costs, land bank costs, economic development, business retention costs, and incentive costs, playground equipment and tennis courts. And then we're also planning some following items in leasing of some items in 2017. 2 new marked police vehicles, 2 unmarked police vehicles, some onboard computer replacements for patrol vehicles, fire inspection vehicle, fire staff vehicle, and there are several other funds that may show some deficits, but these are special purpose funds, and it's designed to expire at some point, so those are being spent down. The budget reflects an overall health benefit cost to the city of 5%, and I think there's also an overall 2% increase slated for staff. And I think there are some utility costs, some other incidental costs, but I would urge adoption of the budget. Thank you.
Any other comments? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on 18-2016?
Collins,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Southall,
Yes.
Burns.
Yes.
Ordinance 18-2016 passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda, item B, ordinance number 19-2016. Would the clerk please read that ordinance by title only?
Ordinance number 19-2016, amending annual 2016 appropriation ordinance 11-2016.
Is there a motion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, I move adoption of ordinance number 19-2016.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Councilwoman Herbie?
This is a typical year-end reassignment of funds, generally within reassignment of monies within line items within funds that we typically do at this time of the year, and I would urge adoption of this ordinance.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on ordinance 19-2016?
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Southall,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Collins.
Yes.
Ordinance 19-2016 passed 7-0. Next item on the agenda is item C. Ordinance number 20-2016. The clerk, please read that ordinance by title only.
Ordinance number 20-2016, an ordinance appointing John R. Wyckoff, Attorney at Law, as Solicitor, Law Director, and Prosecutor, and authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract for the provision of legal services.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Johnson?
Yes. I would move to adopt and second, move to amend ordinance number 20-2016 to add in the title and
Chuck, you have to have the motion on the floor
We need
first.
the main motion first.
The main motion first.
I thought we did it.
Move
I
to-
move to adopt ordinance 20-2016.
Second.
Now, make your, now do your amendment.
I would move to adopt and amend ordinance number 2016. Move to amend ordinance 2016 to add in the title and declaring an emergency and to add a section 3. This ordinance is hereby declared to be an emergency measure necessary for the immediate preservation of the peace, health, safety, and welfare of the city of Forest Park, to ensure the efficient and effective operation of the Forest Park Mayor's Court and related activities. This ordinance shall be in full force and take effect upon its passage.
Second?
Thank you. Would the clerk please call the roll on the amended motion?
Herbie,
Yes?
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Southall,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Cottle.
Yes.
The amendment, go ahead.
The amended motion passes. Would the clerk please call the roll on the main motion?
Is there discussion?
No.
Okay.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Southall,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie.
Yes.
The main motion passes. Thank you.
Now, go to the next one, same thing.
Okay. And we move into item D, ordinance number 21-2016. Would the clerk read the title for ordinance number 21-2016?
Ordinance number 21-2016, an ordinance appointing Darren E. Nye, Attorney at Law, as public defender and authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract for the provision of legal services.
Is there a motion, Mr. Mayor?
I move to adopt ordinance 21-2016.
Second.
No discussion.
No discussion? Mr. Mayor, is there you amended motion? Make your amendment.
I would move to amend ordinance number 21-2016 to add in the title and declaring an emergency and to add a section 3. This ordinance is hereby declared to be an emergency measure necessary for the immediate preservation of the peace, health, safety, and welfare of the city of Forest Park, and to assure the efficient and effective operation of the Forest Park Mayor's Court and related activities. This ordinance shall be in full force and take effect upon its passage.
Second?
Is there any discussion on the amendment?
Nope.
Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on the amended motion?
Johnson,
Yes.
Southall,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt.
Yes.
The amended motion passes. Is there any discussion on the main motion? Hearing none, would the clerk call the roll on the main motion?
Southall,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Main motion passes.
Next item on the agenda is item E, ordinance number 22-2016. Would the clerk please call the roll on, please read that motion, that ordinance by title only.
Ordinance number 22-2016, an ordinance amending section 156.14 of the codified ordinances of the city of Forest Park as it relates to fees for work in public rights-of-way and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion, Councilman Southall?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I offer a motion that ordinance number 22-2016 be received for adoption.
Second.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we adopt ordinance number 22-2016. Is there any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. This is a year-end housekeeping type amendment. Basically establish that fees for utility companies and other companies that use our public right-of-way pay as we go forward next year. So that's basically it. And so with that, I offer a motion that we adopt ordinance 22-2016.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt ordinance number 22-2016. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on 22-2016?
Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Southall.
Yes.
Ordinance 22-2016 passes 7-0. Is there a motion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, I move to suspend the rules requiring the reading in full and read by title only, resolutions number 40-2016 through 50-2016. These resolutions were posted 6 days prior to the meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we suspend the rules requiring the reading in full and read by title only resolutions number 40, 2016 through 50, 2016 by title only. Any discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on the motion to suspend?
Collins,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Southall,
Yes.
Burns.
Yes.
The motion to suspend the rules passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda is item F, resolution number 40-2016. Would the clerk please read that resolution by title only?
Resolution number 40-2016, authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract between the City of Forest Park and the Fraternal Order of Police, Ohio Labor Council Incorporated, lieutenants and sergeants.
Is there a discussion, Councilwoman Cottle?
No, motion.
I'm sorry. Is there a motion, Councilwoman Cottle?
Yes, I move to adopt resolution number 40-2016.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we adopt resolution number 40-2016. Is there a discussion, Councilwoman Cottle?
Yes, we are pleased to present the 3-year labor agreement renewal with our police officers and supervisors that has been successfully negotiated between the bargaining unit and the city, subject only to council formal approval. The general wage increase is 2% for both the police officers and supervisors, which is consistent with our budget and the general wage increase already incorporated in other labor agreements.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on resolution 40-2016?
Cottle,
Yes?
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Southall,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Collins.
Yes.
Resolution 40-2016 passes 7-0. Next item, item G, resolution number 41-2016. Would the clerk please read the resolution by title only?
Resolution number 41-2016, authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract between the City of Forest Park and the Fraternal Order of Police, Ohio Labor Council Incorporated, police officers.
Is there a motion, Councilwoman Cottle?
Yes, I move to adopt resolution number 41-2016.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we adopt resolution 41-2016. Is there any discussion, Councilwoman Cottle?
Yes, this is a companion resolution to the resolution 40-2016, whereby we have negotiated a 3-year labor contract renewal with our police bargaining unit, subject to only council's formal approval. Wage increase of 2%. While we have only one police department, the labor negotiation purpose is 3 separate bargaining units.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on resolution 41-2016?
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Southall,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Cottle.
Yes.
Resolution 41-2016 passes 7-0. Next item is item H, resolution 42-2016. Would the clerk please read this resolution by title only?
Resolution number 42-2016, a resolution to amend resolution number 15-2009 to modify and update the investment policy for the City of Forest Park.
Is there a motion? Councilwoman Herbie.
Yes, I would move adoption of resolution number 42-2016.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt resolution 42-2016. Is there any discussion? Councilwoman Herbie.
Yes. This is a proposal to modify our investment policy to allow for a broader mix in a longer time period while still staying within the state requirements for investments. Basically, what's been happening is we haven't been getting a large return on our on our investments. And by changing from the investments that we can send out within a single issuer from 20% to 30%, we can maximize more our interest return. And so I would urge adoption of this resolution.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on 42-2016?
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes?
Southall,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie.
Yes.
Resolution 42-2016 passes 7-0. Next item is item I, Resolution 43-2016. Would the clerk please read it by title only?
Resolution number 43-2016, authorizing and directing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Deborah K. Brown Gaines to serve as magistrate of the City of Forest Park Mayor's Court.
Is there a motion, Mr. Burns?
I move to adopt Resolution 43-2016.
Second.
Been moved and second that we adopt Resolution 43-2016. Any discussion?
Yes, thank you. This is similar to the law director reappointment as discussed above. This resolution is for reappointment of the magistrate. Unlike the law director, it does require a resolution for approval. It's an annual event, and the compensation for the magistrate shall be at an annual rate of $19,726 and 36 cents. I would urge adoption of this resolution.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk call the roll on 43-2016?
Johnson,
Yes?
Southall,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt.
Yes.
Resolution 43-2016 passes 7-0. Next item, item J, Resolution 44-2016. Would the clerk please read that by title only?
Resolution number 44-2016, amending the resolution setting rates of pay for civil and non-civil service employees.
Is there a motion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, I would move adoption of resolution number 44-2016.
Second.
Been moved and second that we adopt Resolution 44-2016. Is there any discussion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, this is a detail that we have to do to account for two positions in the fire department which don't fall under the contractual arrangement that was negotiated for, in lieu of a raise, the earning of Kelly days. These two positions are not subject to the same kind of work schedule, and so this would amend it to instead have a direct wage increase of 2%, and I would urge adoption of this resolution.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on 44-2016?
Southall,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Resolution 44-2016 passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda is item K, Resolution 45-2016. Would the clerk please read that resolution by title only?
Resolution number 45-2016, a resolution setting rates of pay for civil and non-civil service employees for 2017.
Is there a motion, Councilwoman Herbie?
I would urge adoption of resolution number 45-2016.
Been moved and second that we adopt Resolution 45-2016. Is there any discussion, Councilwoman Herbie?
This is the proposed salary resolution that covers employees for the city of Forest Park that have been scheduled and budgeted for an across-the-board adjustment of 2% for their salary schedule. It is basically done and applies to our overall workforce, except for the fire area that we just did in the form of Kelly Day. So I would urge adoption of this measure. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on 45-2016?
Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Southall.
Yes.
Resolution 45-2016 passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda is item L, Resolution 46-2016. Would the clerk please call the roll? Please read that resolution by title only.
Resolution number 46-2016, a resolution initiating a zone district change for the real property known as 2215 through 2219 Waycross Road and 2245 Seven Hills Drive.
Is there a motion, Mr. Burns?
Yes, I move for the passage of Resolution 46-2016.
Second?
Been moved and second that we adopt Resolution 46-2016. Is there a discussion, Mr. Burns?
Yes, thank you. This this rezoning concerns itself with the vacant area at the corner of Waycross and Hamilton, which used to be a Kmart facility, which the city purchased several years ago and demolished that property, and demolished that building. There is a potential buyer for this particular property, and I do want to stress the term potential. There's nothing certain. However, in order for the property to change hands and the new potential buyer to conduct their business, there would need to be, this area would need to be rezoned from a planned business zoned area to a special planning district. This change will allow the city to tailor the conditions and develop standards for the prospective project. This particular resolution is being put forward as an opportunity to position the staff to initiate this zoning change should the property be purchased. And with that, I would urge adoption of Resolution 46-2016.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on Resolution 46, 2016?
Collins,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Southall,
Yes.
Burns.
Yes.
Resolution 46-2016 passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda is item M, Resolution 47-2016. Would the clerk please read that resolution by title only?
Resolution number 47-2016, a resolution declaring moratorium on the issuance of building, zoning, or use and occupancy permits for the cultivation, processing, or sale of medical marijuana for a period not to exceed 180 days.
Is there a motion, Mr. Barnes?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move the passage of Resolution 47-2016.
Second?
Been moved and seconded that we adopt Resolution 47-2016. Any discussion, Mr. Barnes?
Yes. This proposed resolution is based on a letter that was dated October 11th of this year from our law director, which explains that House Bill 523 became effective in September of 2016, and it essentially allows for medical marijuana use for several serious health conditions, and allows 2 years to establish specific guidelines for operation, like the cultivation, processing, testing, dispensing, and medical use of marijuana. A few communities have already chosen to prohibit the business side of this authorizing legislation, while other communities have chosen to place moratorium in their communities until they are clear on the rules and regulations at the state level. The staff is recommending a moratorium not to exceed 180 days so that many of the outstanding questions that we need time to study the issue. So this really gives us an opportunity to observe what goes on, how the state is positioning the implementation of this new rule and law, and so that we can fully comply. And with that, I would urge adoption of Resolution 47-2016.
Any further discussion on 47-2016? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on the resolution?
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Southall,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Collins.
Yes.
Resolution 47-2016 passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda is item N, Resolution 48-2016. The clerk please read that resolution by title only.
Resolution number 48-2016, a resolution prohibiting the use of tobacco and vaping products of all kinds from all city-owned parks and properties of the city of Forest Park.
Is there a motion, Councilwoman Cottle?
Yes, I move to adopt resolution number 48-2016.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt Resolution 48-2016. Is there discussion, Councilwoman Cottle?
Yes, a part of the ongoing work to educate and promote a healthy Forest Park through We Thrive, Forest Park Committee has proposed a resolution to prohibit the use of tobacco products, including vaping devices, on all city-owned parks and facilities. Funds for the signage would be completed by Interact for Health organization. There would be educational sessions with our Winton Woods High School students. The resolution was posted 6 days prior to the meeting. Council is therefore being requested to approve this resolution in support of the We Thrive effort to promote a healthier Forest Park.
Any further discussion?
I just have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Who's going to be monitoring this? Like in the parks and things like that? I mean, because people walking through the park can be smoking a cigarette or they can be using a vapor. Who's going to monitor this?
I'll defer to the city manager, but I would imagine that it's going to be policed, and I use that word, pretty much as we do with alcohol in the park. Sure.
Actually, it's going to be a little different than alcohol from the standpoint. It's really all voluntary participation. So it's the signage that is the encouragement as opposed to enforcement. So it's not an enforceable type of item as much as
Okay, yeah, that's what I was getting.
it's an encouragement, educational awareness.
Okay.
Thank you. Any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on 48-2016?
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Southall,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Cottle.
Yes.
Resolution 48-2016 passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda is item O, Resolution 49-2016. Would the clerk please read that resolution by title only?
Resolution number 49-2016, a resolution requesting the Hamilton County Auditor to place special assessments against various properties by the City of Forest Park Community Development Department.
Is there a motion, Mr. Barnes?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move the adoption of Resolution 49-2016.
Second?
It's been moved and second that we adopt Resolution 49-2016. Is there discussion, Mr. Barnes?
Yes. This resolution represents approximately $21,227 in grass cutting liens, which the city is trying to recover on behalf of taxpayers. As we all know, during various times of the year, the city does go out and maintains grass, trash pickup, and the like in an effort to maintain the outward appearance of vacant buildings as well as some other properties. So in this case, we're assessing liens to those properties and conducting that through the Hamilton County Auditor. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on Resolution 49-2016?
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Southall,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie.
Yes.
Resolution 49-2016 passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda is item P, Resolution number 50-2016. Would the clerk please read that resolution by title only?
Resolution number 50-2016, amending Resolution number 14-2016 to extend contract for Central Park Tennis reconstruction to include reconstruction of adjoining basketball courts.
Is there a motion, Mr. Southall?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I offer a motion that resolution number 50-2016 be received for adoption.
Second.
It's been moved and second that we adopt Resolution 50-2016. Is there any discussion, Mr. Southall?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. As a part of our improvements, the staff is budgeting for 2017. We have the Central Park basketball courts. Without the indoor recreation center, these are primary basketball courts which receive tremendous amount of use. And resurfacing and restriping the basketball courts along with resetting the baskets could be accomplished just under $60,000 based on what we do in-house. In short, though, April 2016, the Westside Paving Company was doing the reconstruction project at a tune of $125,695. So it's going to be a considerable saving to the city as a result of extending this contract to include the basketball courts. So with that, I would urge an adoption of Resolution 50-2016. So,
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on Resolution 50-2016?
Johnson,
Yes.
Southall,
yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt.
Yes.
Resolution 50-2016 passes 7-0. Next item is item Q, a motion. Mr. B.
Yes, I move to appoint Charles Southall to the OKI Board of Trustees for the term commencing January 12th, 2017.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we appoint Mr. Southall to continue as the OKI Board of Trustees representative for Forest Park, term commencing 1/12/17. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, let it be known by the sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next item on the agenda is item R. Motion, Councilwoman Herbie.
I would move to receive the general fund summary report as contained in the departmental reports.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to receive the general fund summary report as contained in the departmental reports. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, let it be known by the sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next item on the agenda is a motion, Councilwoman Holt.
I'd like to make a motion that we convene an executive session to review the performance evaluation of the city manager and the clerk of council and discuss other personal issues related to city council.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we convene an executive session to review the performance evaluation of the city manager, law director, clerk of council, and other personnel issues related to council. Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk call the roll on the motion to convene an executive session?
Southall,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Motion to convene an executive session passes 7-0. I would like to state that no official business will be taken during the executive session. And when we come out of executive session, if we have any business to do, we will do that. Otherwise, there will be a motion to adjourn, which will be a voice vote. We're going to meet in the usual place. Councilwoman Holt, right?
Yes.
All right.
Move to reconvene from executive session.
Moved and seconded that we reconvene in session after the executive session. Is there any discussion? This is voice, right, Sally?
Yes.
Voice for all those in favor of the motion to reconvene, let it be known by the sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're now back in session. Is there any more business to come before the body? Any other business to come before the body? Any other business to come before the body? Hearing none, we are adjourned.